Hello, this is Ness Tilson, and this is a short video to show how to add doors and windows to a project. There are several ways you can add doors and windows to a project. One of the easiest ways is simply to apply an image file to a bit of walling. This is a very easy way, and I've shown you in other videos how to set up the walls and how to add openings. And I've shown you that openings are in fact just transparent pieces of wall. Here we have a bit of project here with some openings in the wall, and for presentation purposes we might like to add windows to this. So how would I add a window to this? Well, let's go into the isometric view of the project, and if I select a wall which is a transparent wall, we can see the transparency is here at 100%, which makes it actually transparent and makes it a hole in the wall. If I change this to 0% and I look what we have in 3D, we show in fact a texture which has been applied to this bit of walling, which is in fact pine boarding. If I replace this texture with another texture which represents, for instance, if I click here and I look into our library, textures library, and I find an image file which represents a window, for instance, take a double window here, and I now look into the project mode, into the 3D, we can see that Polyboard has applied the image file centered on the actual surface and tiled the others around it. But if I say that we don't want it applied tiled, I go into texture application and I change mosaic, which means tiled, to stretched, one image stretched across that surface, we will get the representation of a window, which for presentation purposes is quite neat. So let's go back into that, and if I apply this other window here, if I click here and I do the same thing and I take the image file of the window, let's go into Windows, I take the same window and I apply it as stretched across, we can see, of course I must take off the transparency and put it to 0. We can see that the window, although the two are not exactly the same size, the image has been stretched to fit that bit of wall paneling. Well, we're missing here a door. We would like to put a door in here, so I'm going to show you how to take a door from the internet, an image file, create an image file, and just put in a door here. So let's go over here and let's select this door. But before we apply the image to it, let's go and find the image. Let's go onto the internet. Here we go into Google. Let's go and let's write wooden door. And let's look for the images for wooden doors. And let's try to find a design which suits our purpose for our project. Let's say that we need some sort of design for this wooden door. We can take any sort of design. What sort of design would we take that fits our purpose here? The idea here is that we try to get a photo which is as flat front on as possible. So let's take a design like this. I click onto here. Right, here we have a design which is watermarked. So be careful when you take your design that you can use this design, because some designs may have copyright onto them. What I need here is just the part which represents the door. I don't want all the white bordering on the outside. I just need the part which represents the door. So to do that, I'll take a screen capture program, which I have here. Just clip the image around just the part that's the door. Then I will save that part, and then this image For it to go into Polyboard, Polyboard will always apply in a certain direction. So that we can get it applied to the wall in the correct direction, what we need to do is to rotate this image onto the right hand side 90 degrees, flatten it out like this, and then save it. So let's save this to, I have here doors. I'm going to save this to, I'm going to give it a name, door 02. Let's keep it at 03. I've already got 02s. 03. A door 03. And now we have on disk an image file that is this particular door. Going back into Polyboard, I will now, the opening being selected, go into my image files, my texture image files, my door textures, choose door 03. Make sure my transparency here is 0, and make sure my application is not mosaic but stretched. And now we have our door. And this is now our project, which is set up very quickly so that we can now add our furniture and get a nice clean 3D representation of our project. Thank you very much for looking at this little video. I hope that it's been useful to you and that you'll have great fun setting up your interior design projects with Polyboard. Thank you. See you soon in another video. Goodbye.